Okay, I just got to see what is easily the most shocking and surprising movie of the year, in the sense that this is a movie that I thought, wow, it's probably just going to be a typical kind of lucky-go-lucky coming-of-age story that I forget within a couple days. Instead, it ended up being one of my favorite movies of the year, I think. This is one of the best films of the year. I'm talking about My Old Ass, the brand new film from Megan Park, who, of course, a couple years ago made her debut film Fallout, the great film starring Jenna Ortega and Maddie Ziegler, which was about a school shooting, and just an overall great movie. It was a little bit underrated. This is her follow-up film that follows this girl Elliot, who ends up taking mushrooms and tripping on mushrooms and having a vision where she sees a 40-year-old version of herself, and they start having conversations about the future. It's the base description of this movie. The movie goes to a lot of other places, but that's what the base of this film is actually about. It's about this girl who is about to go off to college and move away from her family, and she's dealing with this idea of change in her life. This idea that she's about to move away from a period of her life that she's never going to be able to get back, and she's wondering about the future, where her life's going to go, and what's going to happen if she could change the future. And yeah, it's a coming-of-age story, a genre that I love, because I am at the point in my life where I'm kind of coming of age. 23, so a few years removed from it, but hey, we're holding on to our past. Just recently, we got to see the movie Dee Dee. That came out about a few weeks ago, and I thought it was one of the best coming-of-age story movies we've gotten in a very long time, and I said it would not be topped. This was the best coming-of-age story all year. And guess what? I actually think this one is a little bit better than Dee Dee. Because this movie does a lot of incredible stuff. Not only is it really fun, it's hilarious, it's well performed, but it also ends up being one of the most emotional movies I've seen in quite some time. This movie damn near earned a certified Joe Marchione tier. There are some gut-punchy stuff in this movie that compare to other films that I cannot believe I'm going to compare this movie to later in this video. First things first, Macy Stella, who plays the lead here, does an incredible job crafting this character that is both fun, hilarious, and just seems like a normal teenage girl, experiencing some of these things for the first time in life, and also dealing with the fact that her life is changing at a very fast pace. She is bright, she's funny, she's enthusiastic, and she does an incredible job. I've never seen any of her other work, but this is a great jumping off point. Her character in this film carries the entire thing, and she is awesome. Aubrey Plaza is in this movie. She plays the 40-year-old version of the main character, and she is also great. She's Aubrey Plaza. You know what you're getting from her at this point. She plays an Aubrey Plaza-like character, and after watching Megalopolis, which I saw right before this, and seeing her performance in that, I was glad to see that the double feature Aubrey Plaza that I was viewing, it paid off, because she's really good in this movie. This movie is carried by that idea, this core idea of talking to your older self and preparing yourself for the future, not just by imagining the future, but embracing the present and the past. We all kind of have had a moment in life where we have sat down and thought, maybe I should enjoy where I'm at right now. Maybe I should enjoy my family time, enjoy my friend time, because things do change. We will never be in the exact spot we are right now. Things change, and when they change, we can never get back. There's a great scene in this movie where the main character that's playing the love interest, Chad, what a name. He talks about this idea of when you used to play as a kid. You used to play games as a kid, make pretend, right? And he tells the story of, well, there was a time where it was the last time, and we had no idea. We went and we did the thing, we played pretend with our friends, we went home, went to bed, and had no idea that would be the last time we'd ever do that. And that is kind of the core of why this movie works so much for me. The themes and the things this movie are talking about are things that I think about almost on a daily basis. I'm at that age. I'm at the age where I think a lot about a lot of the things I did in high school, elementary school, middle school, that I will never be able to do again. Things that friends that I talk to, family members that I talk to, things that have just changed so much, and we're moving into this future, this unknown future so fast that you accept change, you embrace change, but you also kind of have to take a moment to think about, damn, it's moving way too fast, and I kind of miss the old stuff, right? That's what this movie is, and it just really worked for me. There's also a love story in here that's really good. It's well done, and it made me feel single and alone, which I am. It's rough out here, guys. This movie is also just really well paced. It's funny. This movie got a lot of laughs out of me. There's a joke about Saoirse Ronan and about how nobody can pronounce her name, and yeah, I can't pronounce her name. Every time I see a movie with her and I say her name, my comment section is filled with people telling me I don't pronounce her name right. So that joke felt like it was written for me. Great job, Megan Park. This movie is just, it was made for Joe Marchione, I think. It's also going to be every Christian's favorite movie. I kid. If you've seen the movie, you know, I kid. It's a joke, but it's kind of true. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of true. This movie builds up into a third act that I also really like. The ending of this movie is super satisfying, where it actually takes where this character's going, the themes, and this idea of talking to her future self and sort of knowing the future. And it reminded me of a movie that I cannot believe I'm about to compare this to, but reminded me of Arrival, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. it reminded me exactly of that, because it kind of is that, and that hit me. It hit me like a gut punch. On the ride home from watching this movie, I listened to On the Nature of Daylight on repeat, and it got me, man. Almost earned a, on the car ride home, Joe Marchione certified tier. Certified Joe Marchione tier. Almost on the drive home. Because thinking about this movie, and I've been thinking about it, it's one of those films, it gets you emotional, man. This is a very powerful film. A film that maybe if I was 10 years younger than I am now, I probably wouldn't appreciate as much. If I was 20 years older than I am now, maybe I would appreciate even more. But this is the, like, a perfect case of right film at the right time. It just spoke to me and all the things that I've thought about with time, how it's moving, letting go of the past, embracing yourself, you know, seeing the future and trying to embrace the future, but also be open to change and things that might surprise you about the future. Like, it has all of these topics that I think about very often. I think about in my own writing, and it spoke to me. And there's obviously things in this movie that don't speak to me. There's things that I can't really relate to. But of course, that's what filmmaking is. But this is, to me, just a beautiful movie. It was extremely fun, well-paced. I was hooked the entire time. Did not touch my phone for the entire thing. This is a film that I think is going to end up being kind of like a cultish classic. I think people are going to really latch on to this when they start seeing it. This feels like the most crowd-pleasing coming-of-age story movie I've seen in quite some time. It felt like something out of the early 2000s. It was just so good and just understood its genre and its audience so unbelievably well. Megan Park is now one of my most exciting young filmmakers working in Hollywood, and I cannot wait to see what she's done next, because this is a very different movie from Fallout. It's not as dark as Fallout. Of course, Fallout is tackling some really sensitive shit, and so is this movie to a certain extent, but not, it doesn't jump off that dark cliff of we're talking about some really sensitive topics here. This one's more so you know, we're dealing with things that everybody goes through. Not everybody goes through a school shooting, but we all kind of go through aspects in this film which make it a little bit more relatable, but it is still so wonderful, such a beautiful film, hilarious, fun, engaging, great performances all around, and it will make you shed a tear. So My Old Ass is a great movie. One of the best movies of the year. It might be my number 2 movie of the year outside of Dune Part 2. That's still number 1. But I absolutely love this thing. I will give My Old Ass a 5 out of 5. This movie was terrific. Thank you guys for watching. What did you guys think of My Old Ass? Let me know down below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next one.